At the end of your previous comments, you mentioned that the PBO reports on the luxury tax were severely short in terms of the total impact it had on the sector. And you outlined that this was because Canadian consumers were not purchasing boats in the United States, but were going south of the border to spend significant money on new products. Is that correct?
One minor adjustment. The Canadian consumers are purchasing boats in the United States. They are not purchasing the boats in the luxury tax regime threshold in Canada.
One of my big concerns about this tax on recreational boats is that the workers that make a living servicing the boats, doing repairs, general maintenance, might not see new business because those purchases are not being made in Canada. Do you share that concern as well?
Gravely. We share that concern about the people that haul boats, clean boats, do pre-purchase prep work, winterize boats, store boats. Yes, and those are the blue collar jobs that we know have already been lost in the sector.
How many jobs have been lost since this tax was implemented?
We had a survey running in the first 12 months of the tax implementation, and at that time we were showing over 100. We have not had a current survey in 2024. Certainly, it's expanded since then. Across the country, representative of about 200 companies that had reported.
I noticed on the tax exempts certain types of vessels, namely commercial fishing. But what I'm concerned about, and I come from an area of the country where lots of people come from around the world to go fishing, is that it boats used for tourism. Tourism has. Yeah. And the type of equipment that tourism operators and small business owners are using?
Certainly the type of equipment, because what's happening is the operators are simply not updating the vessels that are on our waterways because of the tax. So yeah, it's from a type of equipment perspective, yes.
But what about now I'm just going to turn to the carbon tax for a minute. How many boat manufacturers are there in Canada?
I wouldn't have the exact number. It wouldn't be over 15 in the large scale. We have Princecraft in Quebec, Stanley Boats in Ontario, Westwind Industries in British Columbia, and a number on BC Island. It wouldn't be 20.
Number of manufacturers in the country building recreational vessels that would be subject to this tax.
Correct. We estimate 96% of the boats that come into Canada come from the U.S.
Do you believe the government thought it was a good idea, Canadian workers and businesses, when there is such a small manufacturing base in the country already?
Point of order.
Yes. We're just going to stop the time there. You have 2 minutes, 1 minute, 20 seconds left. Ms. Koutrakis.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Mr. Chair, the relevance of this line of questioning, given that the study that we're doing today has nothing to do with luxury tax.
Come on, guys. We're talking about boating. The tax applies to boating. This could not be more relevant. This is ridiculous. Could we please get on with the questioning? Okay, I'm going to let you continue with the line of questioning.
Before that, I'd just like to respond to the point of order raised by Ms. Koutrakis. Actually,
That's
under the government...
Mr. Viss, it's not a point of order. She had her point of order. I ruled. The floor is yours. You have a minute, 20 seconds left.
Okay. Well, in response to that question, why in the world would this government impose such a punitive tax on such a small number of boat manufacturers in Canada?
I wish I could truly answer that question. What I can tell you is that the industry traveled to Ottawa repeatedly to represent and explain what the projections and forecasts were. And sadly, our forecasts are coming true. Ottawa chose not to listen.